Mrs. Brassington-Claypott's Children's Party by F. Anstey. If I had had it my way, we should not have had a children's party at all this year. As I said to Marmaduke, modern children, especially in such social circles as we move in, expect more and more nowadays, and I really can't undertake to do things on the same scale as the Guldenschweins, or the McMahons, or the Sploshheimers, and when you're always saying things haven't gone so well in the city lately. Marmaduke said he didn't like the idea of our children accepting their young friends' hospitalities without making any return, but as I told him, our Torquil and Ermengarde are such popular children. People are only too delighted to have them. As for the disappointment to our chicks, they had both expressed their perfect willingness to accept 5 shillings apiece instead of having a party, which of course would come out incalculably cheaper. But he said things hadn't come to such a pass that he couldn't afford to give a children's party, and do the thing in style too. He hinted that this was a good policy from a business point of view. I represented that it was utterly out of the question for me to do the thing as it should be done on my housekeeping allowance, and he gave me an extra cheque, which he said ought to cover not only a first-class sit-down tea and supper, but a really refined and expensive entertainment from Harrods or Whiteley's into the bargain. I might have managed to make it do, I dare say, if only I hadn't had such frightfully bad luck at bridge about that time, that I was positively compelled to economise wherever possible. So when my maid Melanie happened to mention that a young man of her acquaintance, who was anxious to obtain engagements at parties as a conjurer, and who according to her was quite extraordinarily talented, I told her to see if she could arrange with him to come to me and give an hour and a half's performance for £1, this sum to include his cab fares. I was careful to add this, because most entertainers make an extra charge for cab fares, and they all seem to live a long way outside the radius. Melanie was to point out that as at my house he would have an opportunity of exhibiting before highly influential and wealthy people, like the McMahons, the Sploshheimers and Guldenschweins, and others, he might find it to his advantage to make a considerable reduction in his usual terms. Later, Melanie reported that she had so strongly impressed this upon him that he had declared his willingness to perform for me gratis, just for the sake of the introduction, and Melanie added that he had offered to conclude by distributing a few small gifts, provided I saw no objection. I said that if he liked to go to the expense, he was of course at perfect liberty to do so.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?